It's preview time for Sha Tin Twilight Sunday, with the first race getting it away at 4 o'clock. 11 races this week, so we go through to a little later finish time. 9 on the turf, C+3 course in use, and a couple on the all-weather. Paul Ollie's here, Tom Wooders here, and Tom, what have we got to look forward to?
We've got 11 races, Mark, to get our teeth stuck into. Griffins to kick off the program, and I think it could be a very big afternoon for Zach Purtney. Could have maybe a 4, even a 5 timer tomorrow, which would really put him on track to break that 171.
It's been a few meetings where it's been a little quieter for him, Paul. He's still riding winners, but not maybe at the number that he needs at the moment.
I agree with Tom, though. I think he's on paper some really good chances here on Sunday. There's a good jackpot as well going into the 6-up win bonus. That's 2.9 million. That should get up to over 7 million. And in the last 2 races of this Twilight meeting, races 10 and 11, there's a little bit of extra cash going into the quartet and first 4 merge pools, $1 million going in each.
Late night Sunday cash.
Yeah, that's what we like.
Perfect. We've got Griffins to get us underway though at 4 o'clock local time, and they're coming back to the 1,000 metres after going to the 1,200, several of them last start. Cheng Glory won over this distance at his first outing. Kaholo Angel has the blinkers and the hood going on. Bumbaya's had 3 trials, as has Flying Shelby. Gallant Bella's coming back to the 1,000. He placed at his first start down the straight. Kaying Victory scratched on the 9th of April when he went off in the gates. Sonic Boom, just a 2-year-old, as is Telecom Dragon, Tom, who's had the 4 trials prior to his first race day appearance.
Kaholo Angel should go forward. Dashing Success will be there for a wee way, but he doesn't seem to finish his races off at all. Telecom Dragon, his first starter, he was an $8,000 yearling purchase, was Telecom Dragon. Kaying Victory, and then you've got horses like Cheng Glory. Flying Shelby, a bit slow away in his most recent trial, Paul. He's related to Detonator Jack and also Madison County.
He's not living up to his name, Flying Shelby. He's been slow away in a few of those, and so is Bumbaya. He's been getting back as well.
All right, that is... Imagine if it races Good Bang, 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 Bang and Bumbaya. Anyway, we've got an interview for the Griffins race number 1. Lowell Hewitson rides Cheng Glory, and he spoke to Nick.
Lyle, Cheng Glory is your ride in the Griffin race on Sunday. He's had a couple of runs. He's coming back in trip.
Yes, look, I think the reason for that is obviously the space between the runs. So this race presented itself with the right gap. I don't think he's necessarily a 1,000-metre horse. 1,200s in terms of distance probably more suited, but he is a youngster still and learning what it's all about. And look, we were pleased with his last run. You know, he had to lump more weight, and it was his first time in behind horses and sort of horses all around him, and he stayed on fairly. But I think coming back down the straight just gives him a bit more room and allows him to use that action. So yeah, he'll be hitting the line strongly once again.
And I guess as well with these races, I suppose not so much yourself, but connections and his trainer, obviously Francis Lloyd, a bit dictated to where these races are and what trip they run over. Yeah,
I think it was a toss-up, you know, just on his work and where to go. There's a 1,200 next month before the season closes. But he just seemed to come right leading into this race and decided to take the chance. So, look, he has won over the 1,000. Like I said, it's probably not his best trip, but being a young horse at the moment and strong enough to nullify that, and we expect another good run.
And I guess just looking at the race again, Lyle, you have to be slightly impressed with the fact that sort of you're at him sort of 450 out or around about there, and he has kept on well. So, from mine anyway, it looks like he's still a bit of a work in progress.
Yeah, certainly. Lovely big action. Like I've alluded to, he's probably going to be looking for a mile next season, but you know, he's got such a fluent stride on him that once he puts that to use, he can pick up really well. And you know, I think last time was a good learning experience, getting around the turn and sort of having to race like a proper horse in behind horses. So yeah, he will have taken improvement from that and should be able to go well.
Cheng Glory, the horse that Lyle talking about there. Paul, we've got Kaying Victory, who was sent back to the trials. He was very short price when he went off in the barriers prior to what was going to be the debut.
Yeah, and look, he's trialled really well here. If everything goes right, he behaves himself. Look, I think they'll probably put him in last, won't they, with him? And I know he's drawn 1, but I think he's got the speed to get across.
Well, that's what they, I think, wanted last time out. He was supposed to go in last or something like that, and he stayed in the gates too long. And he had been a little bit iffy in the gates prior to his debut. He has actually been gelded since then. Obviously, that's obviously quietened him down, but he would have been a sore and sorry horse after that first incident, because I think he broke his nose.
I thought you were going to say after his gelding.
That too.
Ruby Sailing, Tom's had a couple of trials. Actually ridden him once or twice too.
Yeah, both of these trials are ridden by Zach Purton. He did look down at the horse's legs once or twice over the concluding stage of this trial, but there was no pressure put on him. He's related to plenty of winners. Paul, he was a $340,000 Magic Millions 2-year-old.
I haven't minded his trials. I think, as you say, he hasn't been put under any pressure there. So I'm going to include him. Not in a win line, but I've put him in.
Who is the winner?
I think the belated first starter here in Kaying Victory can win. He looked really good at those trials, and if everything goes right, I think he can win. Sha Tin Glory's already won this season, and he backed up with a good run. Ruby Sailing, the one we just talked about. And there's a lot of money for Sonic Boom last time, and his work had been good leading into it. He just missed the start, but I just wanted to keep him a little bit safe there, so put him in on a modern line. 7-1-8-9.
Can't argue with any of those, and can't argue with the order either. I've gone with Kaying Victory on the top also for Zach Purton and David Hall. Sha Tin Glory, number 1. Ruby Sailing, haven't minded his trials, and as Paul mentioned, there was a lot of money for Sonic Boom on David. Missed the start, but when he got into the clear off heels at the 300, I thought he finished off well to be only beaten 2 3/4. 7, 1, 8 and 9.
It's all about those 4 numbers from the boys. The 7, the 1, the 8 and 9 for the first, the Griffin.